This video is brought to you by Dr. Kristen R. Bromley's Guitar Method Book Series and Online Music Academy.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kristen Bromley. Welcome to my online academy. It sure is great having you join me here in these online lessons. This is lesson 5 in this mini course that's all about flat picking. In this lesson, we're going to build on what we did in the last lesson by working on the strumming pattern bass, down, up, alternate bass, down, up with a couple of different chords. So in the last lesson, we worked on that strumming pattern with E and B7. In this lesson, we're going to work on it with A and E7. So let's go ahead and get started here. So with the A chord, our bass note is the open 5th string, which is an A, so we've got our root. So as an alternate bass note, we can use the next string up. Now that's the case really with all of these chords that are in first position. We can alternate between wherever we have our root, the lowest root note. So in this case, it's the open 5th string because it's an A for an A chord. And then we can use the next string up as an alternate bass note. In this case, that would be the 4th string, and it's the 5th of the chord. So we have root, 5th. It's going between the root and a higher 5th. So you got bass down, alternate bass down, and once you're ready, go ahead and stick in that down up. And you can just practice with this chord with that strumming pattern. So you got bass, with the A chord, we actually have an alternate option as well. And so that's usually the case when the chord has the root on the 5th string or the 4th string. Because in those cases, we've got a string that's lower than it. So with this one, we can alternate with a lower note than the root note. So we can go from the root to a lower 5th. Now when we do this, we need it to be parallel. It needs to match. So we're using the open 5th string. So we go down to the open 6th string. And we'll get bass alternate, which is the 5th. And so that's also an option for the A chord. So we're going 5th string to 6th string. Root to 5. Root to 5. So those are my options for A. I can do either one. For the E7, this one we have really one option. With the E chord and the E7 chord, it's actually the same. We just can have the 6th string as our root, and then we alternate with the next string, which is the 5th string, and it's actually the 5th of the chord. So 6th string to 5th string. So it's just like the E chord we were doing in the last lesson, only now we're playing E7 instead. And plug this into the chord progression. For this lesson, we're going to be using the chords from Tom Dooley. Down in the description below, you can download a free PDF copy. There's a link just to go and get a PDF copy of the sheet music for Tom Dooley. I have the chord progression written up here on the board. So we got 3 times on A, then 4 times on E7, 1 time on A. The second half is the same as the first. 3 times on A, 4 times on E7 and A. Now with Tom Dooley, in the sheet music, I put one verse of the lyrics. So you have the refrain, how it starts, which is this first line, and then we get a verse of lyrics which actually has the same chord progression. And then the song goes back and does the refrain again to end. And you'll see a little DC al fine, meaning go back to the top, da capo, and end at fine. Now, if you want to look up if you really like this song, you want to look up other lyrics online, it's really easy to find multiple verses of lyrics for this old folk song. We're just going to go ahead and practice it here, where we'll do what would be the refrain, then the verse, and then we can go and do the refrain again. So we will insert this. So we're going to go bass, down, up. We're going to insert this. It's 1 measure per chord, so 3 measures of A, so 3 times on this for A. Then the 4 measures of E7, so 4 times on this for E7. 1 time on A, and then we do the second line, which is the same as first. We go back and do the refrain again. It's the same again. So we'll go ahead here and practice this. You got 1, 2, ready, out. Before I go, I'm going to say that you can pick which way you want to alternate with A. It doesn't matter if I do one and you do the other, they'll both work. So you can go from the 5th string to the 4th string. Pluck that out louder. Or you can go from the 5th string to the 6th string. I'm going to go to the high to the lower one. I really like that on this song. I think it sounds great, but you could do the other one if you wanted to. It's good to practice them both. We go 1, a 2, a 1, 2, ready. We've got the A. That I'm going to explain. So in the key of A, which we're in, the A is a 1 chord. E is the 5 chord because it comes off of step 5. E, the E note, that E root, is step 5 of an A major scale. So it's an E chord. And you can create an ending on these by going to the 1 to the 5 to the 1. So I just threw that on the end there. I just did a little back and forth between that chords. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and sing this. We'll play a little bit faster, but we'll put it in context with the actual song here. Hang down. So you got 1, a 2, a 1, 2, ready, and hang down your head down, Dooley. Hang down your head and cry. Hang down your head down, Dooley. Oh boy, you're bound to die. I met her on the Now, if you're not familiar with this song, it was written about a famous old murder case. Sort of legend has it he might have been innocent, he might not have. More verses can go on and tell more of the story. It sounds a little intense there to sort of just have those lyrics as is, but it's about an old case. And some of this old folk music, they just love to write about the hard cases sometimes. So that's where this comes from. We're going to go ahead and speed it up so we can hear it faster. Hang down. Just get used to those chords at a faster tempo. And when I go faster, the strumming gets more in the wrist. So my up strums, I'm not plucking big. I keep a lot of it right in the wrist actually, because trying to catch those bass notes and the alternate bass notes, it's easiest for control if I'm sticking right in tight and keeping it in the wrist, and then keeping that down up sort of whip keeps it nice when it's in the wrist as well. But we'll go about here. 1, 2, I want to ready, and hang down your head, Tom Dooley. Hang down your head and cry. Hang down your head, Tom Dooley. Oh boy, you're bound to die. Met her on the mountain. There I took a lie. Met her on the mountain and stabbed her with my knife. Hang down your head, Tom Dooley. Hang down your head and cry. Hang down your head, Tom Dooley. Oh boy, you're bound to die. So that is that one. Now, like I did in the last lesson, I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the melody, because in flat picking there is a lot of melodic playing. That's actually, the true flat picker will play a lot of melodic content. So it's good to use these melodies as a warm-up and getting used to the technique before we get to the end of this mini course where we do a lot of intense melodic playing. So it's written there in standard music notation and tablature. I'm just going to proceed assuming that you know how to read one or the other. If you don't, there's a quick answer video that can get you started on tablature. That would be the easiest place to sort of get going. There's also method books in my method book series that come with video lessons where you can learn and master the skill of note reading all along the guitar neck, and also tablature, reading melodies from tablature. But I'm going to go ahead here and assume that you know how. I mentioned in the last lesson that with flat picking, we tend to play those notes that fall on the beat with a down pluck, and those notes that fall in between the beat with an up pluck. So we break out of that with, if there's several like quarter notes back to back, then we'll play beats 1 and 3 with a down pluck and beats 2 and 4 with an up pluck. But we don't always necessarily do that. So as I look at the first part of this melody, I'm going to have down, up, down, 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 down. That would be one way to do it. If I wanted to alternate where I could with beats 1 and 2, in that second measure I could go down, up. So I could go down, up, down, up, down, up. So I've got beat 3 in the first measure on a down pluck, beat 4 on an up pluck, beat 1 in the next measure on a down pluck, and beat 2 on an up pluck. That sort of follows the pattern of if I have quarter notes back to back. And then eighth notes back to back, it's those that are on the beat, down pluck, those that are on the offbeat, up pluck. So this song has a lot of places with quarter notes, so I would choose to alternate. So most likely I'm going to go ahead and play through this. You can play it with me if you'd like to, or if not, you'll hear how it sounds so you can work on playing it. So you got 1, 2, ready, and... off there. Okay, and of course the faster you can get that, the better. Now, if playing it that fast, it's sloppy. It's really important to learn it slow and accurately. So as we get into things later, accuracy comes by developing those muscles and the control at a very slow tempo, and then building it up so that when we are playing faster, we have the control and we are playing it accurately. If we play it sloppy faster, we never get better. But the melodies, I'm including those in these parts of the lesson where we're doing a song so that you can work on that technique so that it's there when we get to some challenging ones at the end of the mini course. Okay, I hope you're having fun. In the next lesson, we're going to do a song that has 3 chords, E, A, and B7. So sort of intermix the chords we've been working on in this lesson and the last lesson together. It's going to be great. Take care. I'll see you then. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. For more in-depth lessons and to progress through a free guitar course, check out my Guitar 101 series on YouTube and my guitar method books, which all come with access to hours of in-depth video lessons. You can find more information about me and my products at KristenBromley.com. Take care.